Like I said, thanks for hanging in there. We obviously had to say see you later to a lot of seniors, and see you soon. Special night. It's so hard to play well on a night like tonight with so many emotions. But I thought from the get-go there was a special feeling, and it just continued throughout.
Paul, go ahead.
All right, well, let's talk about, I know everybody wants to talk about the threes, but I'm going to ask you about your team's response to the shot that Alabama came back at you to start that second half.
Been there, there was, it was again. I told the assistant, told Todd and Chantel to keep me posted. I didn't want it to go past 5. So if it gets to 5, let's take 1 and just regroup. Listen, Alabama's explosive. They're 8-2 on the road this year. You knew it was a matter of time. They were going to make some adjustments. They're too good not to. I told them, this is why you've played the way you've played, so you can withstand that run and still be ahead instead of being behind. So, you hate to see it. And gosh, I wish we were one of those teams that could go from up 15 or 18 to up 30. I just don't know that that's us, So, fact that we've been there, fact that we've got a lot of upperclassmen, fact that we got a lot of confident kids, just keep giving them confidence and, let them go do what we've been doing all year long. Don't try to draw up some new play although we did do that yesterday. We put one new play in. It helped us a lot today, but just keep it simple. Just told them to be the best team they could be. And I thought they did that for, to lead 36 minutes of the game against a team like this, pretty good thing.
Paul, we'll stay with you.
Just talk about the Amber's evening. I mean, as Randy put it, she was in a zone, no question.
I don't know what one feels like. I just asked her. I said, "Is that what one looks like when you see it?" But yeah, and she's so capable of doing that at any point in time. The shots were wide. The shots they were getting her were so open. You just expect her to make them all. I think tonight I look at that game. Obviously Amber had a massive, massive game, but that's what she does. Okay. That's what, when she's open, she makes threes. Mac did what Mac does. Chelsea does what Chelsea does. Jalen came in. I think she was plus 15, didn't score. Maybe did she not score, but she's plus 15. I thought if you look at our stat sheet, every single person all the way down to Avery Hughes coming in and getting fouled and going 3 for 3, everybody filled their role, and to do it on a senior night in front of a sold-out crowd against UConn's one thing, but to sell out senior night, that shows you how awesome Razorback Nation is and how important this group of kids has been to that our fan base.
How big do you think this game was to carry you into the SEC tournament?
Our kids all poked their head in and saw the reveal right before we took the field. And to see our name in there is really cool. And part of the pregame speech was, I hope that's not the only time we see our name there. We've got now, there's, I think, 3 teams that were in the reveal end up losing. We didn't want to be one of those teams. I think it means we have some momentum. I think the SEC tournament obviously has importance. It's the first time I think that we've been here that we've gone into that thing knowing for sure we're in the NCAA tournament. So it'll have a different feel. It's going to have a different setup and a different environment, but we're looking forward to whatever that brings us to.
Randy, we'll go to you.
Mike, you talked about emotions. Talk about your emotions today, what you went through. I imagine when you talk about focus, it was hard to really focus at times on tonight's game.
It was, and I tried to do myself a favor. I wrote their cards out earlier in the week. I tried not to do it at the last minute, but each one of those kids are so special in their unique ways, and they're the reason they all came here and the conversations that we had talking them into being Razorbacks, they all come full circle. I'm usually okay on senior night, okay, because I know I'm going to see them again tomorrow. The time that gets me is banquet time. So I made it through tonight with just a couple of well-ups, mainly hearing their parents talk about them and their friends and their loved ones, and then hearing their teammates talk to each other. But I made it through fine. It'll be banquet night that I'm a blubbering idiot, so I survived.
All right. Paul spoke about the threes, the zone that Amber was in. But for 3 quarters, you may have played your best game this season. take out the third quarter, and you might say it was almost a perfect game.
Yeah.
Now, using the terminology of my partner, Rick Schaefer, unbelievable. If I'd have told you that you would have set an SEC record tonight for 3-point baskets made and that over half of your shots would come from beyond the 3-point line?
Alabama's traditionally a zone team, and they're really we didn't get to play Vanderbilt this year, who's another traditionally zone team. I didn't know whether they would stick with it. They stuck with it for a long time, and that's typically what we do. We don't turn it over against zone, and we get great shots, which if you give us those same 40 shots or 39, I guarantee you if you went to our kids that shot them, they would bet their Pell Grant money that they would make more than 19. That's just how confident they are, and it's what they do. I wouldn't have necessarily predicted it, but I've been waiting for it. We've been waiting, and I still think we can do better. Although I look down and I'm not so sure. It felt like at times, I as a player have never been in the zone in basketball, so I can't imagine how big that basket looked. But as soon as Amber caught it, I thought it was going in. And then Slocum gets going, goes 4 for 4. Chelsea's all look good leaving her hands. They started going under screens on Mac, and we know what that means. So, I know we're hard to guard, but I thought our defense at times again tonight was what got us go in transition and what allowed us to get some of those great looks. But this is going to be one of those ones that we go back and rewatch. I'll watch this tonight. I don't always rewatch our games at night, but this is going to be one to go home and put in the DVR and have fun watching.
All right, I'm going to give you one more stat that might blow your mind. You score 94 points. You have 16 points inside the paint. That's almost unheard of to be able to score 94 points, but only 16 came in the paint.
Yeah, normally, we drive it in there a bunch, but in that zone, they had such length that it just didn't happen tonight. Normally, we're pretty close to about 50-50 points in the paint and points from the arc, but it's what they gave us tonight. Tonight it was the threes. And, I thought our decision-making was phenomenal. 8 turnovers is not very many in a game that had that type of pace. And some of those were aggressive turnovers. So, I thought our group was very, very mature, which they should be. Mac has got junior type minutes, and again, all those seniors out there that were honored, they've been in a lot of tough battles. We are definitely tested. I wanted it it was 5 games ago. I said it on a press conference. We wanted to make sure these last 5 games we ended up tested and trusted, where we trusted each other and we were tested, and then be healthy and happy. And I tell you that, we played every game that the SEC allowed us to play. And then the one that got canceled, we made up with, the number 1 overall seed at UConn. So when we step back and you look at the marathon we just ran, I don't know what seed we're going to end up. I think somebody told me probably the 6th seed, which I think, are we tied for 4th with 9 wins?
Yes.
I think we'll be tied for 4th. So with the road schedule that we faced going to Kentucky, to Tennessee, the last thing I want to say is I'm so happy for Coach Blair. Them winning the SEC championship. I did pick them in the preseason as number 1. I am the person that's been voting them number 1 in the country, or one of the 2 people been voting them number 1 in the country. So congratulations to A&M and to Coach Blair and his staff, Kelly and Amy and Bob down there. They really represented our league in a year where I think the league was as hard as it's ever been.
I got one last question for you, Mike.
Yep.
The dreaded word peak. Do you feel like you are peaking at the right time?
I would have said hell no before tonight. I didn't think we were anywhere close against, Auburn the other night down there. But roll it back today, our focus, being able to block out all the possibilities of what, senior day can bring with having your family in town and it being disjointed and all that. I'd say that it's got to be thought about. Yeah. Are we? But hey, listen, we've got enough veteran coaches. We'll know how to peel it back. We'll find enough things that we'll find a chip to put on our shoulder going down there to the SEC tournament and see how that thing turns out. This is the time of the year where how you manage things, how you manage your days in between now and playing at the SEC tournament, playing the NCAA tournament. it's unique every single year, but there are some similarities that I hope we can draw from in past experiences and make sure that this group just absolutely enjoys the fruits of their efforts and being rewarded. It was an awesome crowd tonight. Most of them stuck around to see it. And I hope we have not peaked, but I hope we're on our way, Randy. I hope that answers it.
Congrats, Mike.
Appreciate you,
Thanks,
man.
y'all.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
See y'all. I guess we'll do something pre-SEC sometime. All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.